So it's been a while. I've been doing a lot of Penguin Modern videos, even though I've been reading other books. Here is one of them, Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. And this is a pretty good book, but it's really not for everyone. Mere Christianity is a book that I think helps people who are already believers of God come closer to God, but I don't think this is going to convert many people. It might put people off because C.S. Lewis, generally, I don't really like his tone. He's very, I guess, arrogant in a way. And I think another thing is most of you have read or heard of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, in which C.S. Lewis kind of subtly puts in a lot of biblical imagery, like Aslan being like Jesus. And it's just a bit deceptive. He just has a bit of there's something not quite sincere about him at times, which makes it quite, yeah. But all that said, I think he is very knowledgeable and very wise in this. So if you can get past some of his personal tone and get past the fact that this is only going to strengthen whatever Christianity you already have, or you have to be very open-minded to get much out of this if you aren't Christian, then yeah, this is a very good book if you can get past all of that. Look, I don't think this book will convert agnostics or atheists, although it does try to, and I think that's largely because of C.S. Lewis's tone. I hope by watching this video you'll know whether this book is for you. If you're an atheist interested in theology or interested in trying to find more intellectual elements about faith, I would instead recommend reading something by Soren Kierkegaard. I would read The Sickness Unto Death if you're interested in the definition of sin, and I'd read Fear and Trembling if you're interested in a definition of what faith is. This copy was lended to me by David Portway, who's part of my Alpha Course team at St. Aldate's. And so it's often given to a lot of people who are coming back to Christianity or trying to understand why they should go to church. And I think that's a really good place for this book, and that's basically the area that this book works on. I would strongly recommend Mere Christianity for young or new Christians trying to get a clear picture on why they do certain things or what it means when we say certain things. By reading Mere Christianity, a reader will know why church and theology are important to Christians, which is something that's not really that obvious from reading the Holy Bible. Much like the Quran or the Torah, the Bible doesn't really give reasons for why some practices happen in communal worship. So this actually gives a good idea for why we might want to go to church in very simple language with a lot of visual examples that help kind of bring that understanding. Mere Christianity is made up of 4 books: Right and Wrong, What Christians Believe, Christian Behavior, and Beyond Personality. And simply put, the first book talks about why there might need to be a God for there to be right and wrong. The second book is about what is God. The third book is about what we should do because there is God. And the fourth book is about why is there church and why are there like 3 gods? Why is there the Trinity and what is the Holy Spirit? So like more kind of higher concepts of the Christian God. So it's done in a very chronological order. My view is that the second half of the third book and the fourth book are the best bits of this entire book. The beginning of this book and the middle, I didn't really enjoy that much. I didn't think I was agreeing with him on many points, and his tone is more annoying at many of these points. So I think some readers might get lost. I think unless you're really forgiving and patient, you're not going to get to the good bits at the end. This book is highly rated, but I think that's largely because it's read by many Christians who already believe, and so it's a bit of a positivity bias towards the ratings that you'll find online for this book. Here's an example of one thing I found important about this book. So C.S. Lewis talks about there being 4 cardinal virtues, which everyone has, regardless of whether they believe in a God or not. Well, most people have. And the 4 cardinal virtues are prudence, temperance, justice, and fortitude. But then C.S. Lewis proposes there are 3 theological virtues which only people who believe in God have. I think maybe that they're more elevated in people who have God, but he suggests only people who believe have these three theological virtues, which are faith, hope, and charity. And I think the way C.S. Lewis describes and explains faith and hope and charity are the best bits of this book. They really did show some new things I hadn't seen before. From reading about the theological virtues, you get an understanding of what it is like for someone who feels God in their heart and acts through that. So up until like 3/4 of the book, you don't see C.S. Lewis really kind of come with a compelling personal testament for why he feels Christians do certain things. And it moved me a bit, to be honest. I did really like that part. Another important thing I learned from this was in the book 4, C.S. Lewis gives many explanations for why church and theology are important for Christianity, and essentially, paraphrasing it down to its basic elements, he says that we need to do this communal worship, communal gathering and communication about God, so that we can find a common ground for all the personal experiences we have. We can find the many ways that God talks to us, and we can find just a common understanding for the way that we should be as people. It's almost like building a moral system out of everyone's personal experiences of God. So the way he gives so many visual analogies for this, and I think they're very helpful for someone who has these big questions about Christianity. But as I said before, one can't really have these big questions in a sincere level unless you already believe. So I don't think this is a book for people who don't already believe in Christianity. So that's as much as I need to say about this. So if you want a simple rundown of Christianity, this might be it. Happy reading.